You really love dogs. But sometimes, love alone isn't enough. Have you ever seen that sad look in your furry friend's eyes and had no idea why? Or thought you were doing the right thing, only to later realize it was slowly hurting their little heart? We, dog owners who love with all our hearts, often unintentionally hurt the most loyal friend we'll ever have. But don't worry, you're not alone. In today's video, the Dogfluence will walk you through 9 seemingly harmless things you might be doing every day that could be silently making your dog feel sad, hurt, or even lose trust. And the most important thing is not blame. It's understanding, so we can love them better. There's something few people will tell you outright. Your anger doesn't teach your dog anything, it only makes them more afraid of you. You might think, it did something wrong, I had to let it know. But to a dog, your emotions speak far louder than your reasons. It doesn't understand that you're furious because your shoes got chewed. All it sees is that the person it loves most just became the person it fears most. A study from the University of Porto in Portugal found that dogs who are frequently scolded have cortisol, the stress hormone, levels twice as high as those trained with positive reinforcement. And to make matters worse, a dog's hearing is 4 times more sensitive than a human's. What feels like a raised voice to you can sound like a thunderclap in their mind. If a child needs to be taught with patience and love, a dog needs it even more because it can't speak back to explain itself. One dog owner once shared, "When I got angry and yelled, I thought fear would stop the bad behavior. But all it did was make my dog withdraw, avoid me, and lose its spark. That's when I realized I wasn't teaching it to trust me, I was teaching it to fear me." So what can you do instead? Take a breath, turn away, count to 5 before reacting. Reward what's right, instead of punishing what's wrong. And always remember, dogs don't live by logic, they live by emotion. Don't let a moment of anger turn you into someone they have to tiptoe around. Because in their world, you are their whole sky. Dogs don't need a perfect world. They just need a predictable one. Today, you let them sit on the sofa. But tomorrow, you scold them for doing the exact same thing. You laugh and cuddle them when they jump on you. But then you yell when they jump on someone else. To humans, that's context. To a dog, it feels like betrayal. A study from the University of Vienna found that dogs have a strong sense of fairness. When they're treated inconsistently, they become anxious, withdrawn, and lose trust. Imagine if you were praised today for arriving early, but criticized for the same thing tomorrow. Wouldn't you feel confused? That's exactly how your dog feels. One owner once said, "I didn't understand why my dog started acting sneaky and avoiding me. Then I realized, I was sending it mixed signals every day." The solution? Set clear, consistent rules. Agree as a household on what the dog is, and isn't, allowed to do. And if you ever want to make exceptions, create a clear signal, like a special blanket that means, "You're allowed on the bed today." A stable environment doesn't just help your dog feel secure, it strengthens the bond between you like never before. Have you ever seen the way your dog looks at you when you turn away? It doesn't speak, it doesn't ask for anything, but its heart is always waiting. Dogs don't understand that you're busy with work. They only know, the one they love is drifting away. A study from Azabu University in Japan found that just sitting near their owner helps stabilize a dog's heart rate and significantly reduce stress hormones. They don't need you to play with them all day. They just need to be near you. But when you keep saying, no, shutting the door, pushing them away, day by day, you're teaching them one thing. Your love is a burden to me. And then you'll notice, they start chewing shoes, scratching the couch, tearing up paper, not because they're naughty, but because they're crying out for help. I once heard an elderly man recall, with tears in his eyes, "When my dog was young, I was always busy and snapped at it whenever it came close. Later on, it just lay quietly in the corner. I'd call, and it wouldn't come anymore. At that moment, I wished I had just hugged it more." If you're hearing this today, it means it's not too late. Even just 5 minutes of affection each day can help them feel safe. When you're busy, let them sit by your feet, you work. They nap beside you. Don't only show love when it's convenient, because to a dog, love is constant. It never clocks out. Do you have a little corner to retreat to when you're tired? Your dog needs one too. Maybe even more. In the wild, stray dogs and wolves always find a quiet, hidden place to rest, It's a survival instinct. But in your home, if your dog doesn't have a small, warm, peaceful spot, it may feel like it has no right to escape from the stress of the world. A study published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior showed dogs with a designated resting space, even just a blanket under the table, are less anxious, bark less, and sleep more deeply. It sounds simple, right? But here's the truth. That space isn't just for sleeping. It's a place for emotional healing. I once saw a very friendly golden retriever who would always retreat to the laundry room and lie down whenever guests came over. At first, the owner thought he was being weird or antisocial. But in reality, that was how he coped. He wasn't trying to cause trouble. He just needed a little peace. So give your dog a quiet corner to simply be themselves. A blanket that smells like you. A small tent. A cozy nook with soft lighting. Sometimes that's all it takes. And if you want to feel even closer, let them sleep by your bed. Studies have shown that dogs who sleep near their humans enjoy better quality sleep and feel less afraid. You may be their whole world, but sometimes, give them a little space of their own within that world. Ellipsis. And once you've given them a peaceful space, will you also give them the freedom to live as they truly are, starting with a walk? And a good sniff? You think a walk is just for your dog to do its business? For them, a walk is the news, a movie, a social event, a learning journey, and a relaxation trip, all in one. But how many times have you tugged the leash, pulled them along, or said, "Hurry up," when they stopped to sniff a patch of grass? What you didn't know was, you just interrupted a breaking news bulletin that they were reading with their super-powered nose. According to research from the University of Liverpool, when dogs are allowed to sniff freely, walks last naturally about 40% longer, and their cortisol, stress hormone, levels drop significantly. Sniffing is how dogs understand the world. Sniffing is how they decode what's new today. Who passed by? Who's sick? Who's in love? Here's a brilliant example. There's a beagle named Elvis trained to sniff polar bear poop, to detect whether a bear is pregnant. Yes, you heard that right, just from the scent. Imagine having that kind of power, and then think about how often we limit that magical world, just because we're in a rush. So from now on, slow down, call walks, nose adventures. Let your dog sniff whenever it's safe. And if one day you really are in a hurry, make up for it the next day with a free sniffing session. You might see bushes as just bushes, but to them, every leaf is a page in a thrilling storybook. Don't take away their right to explore and learn. Ellipsis. Walks are for mental freedom. But what about at home? If you don't stimulate your dog's brain each day, they'll slowly become bored and forget how to truly enjoy life. Have you ever noticed how sometimes your dog lies around all day, not because they're lazy, but because they simply don't know what else to do? Just like humans, dogs can feel bored, drained, even lost when their days are nothing but eat, sleep, potty, repeat. And guess what? Studies from the University of Bristol show that older dogs experience memory decline, slower reflexes, and weakened emotional connections when their brains aren't regularly stimulated. But the good news? You don't need anything complicated. Just a treat dispensing toy can engage their mind as they figure out how to get the food out. Or hide a few small snacks around the house, and let them sniff them out like a little hunter. Or set up a mini obstacle course, with pillows, towels, and chairs for them to explore, conquer, and be praised. One dog owner in California shared, "I built a maze out of cardboard boxes in the living room, just 10 minutes of play. And my dog was as thrilled as if he went to Disneyland." Dogs don't just need physical exercise. They need to explore. They need little challenges, to learn how to overcome them. And every time they do, they grow more confident, more intelligent, and closer to you. See, even mealtime can be a game. Because raising a smart dog isn't hard, you just need to keep their mind awake. And just like that, you've reached the end of this journey with the Dogfluence. A journey of noticing the little things that can hurt a dog's heart more than you might think. Not to blame, not to make you feel guilty, but to help you understand, so you can love more consciously, more kindly. Because for every dog, big or small, playful or calm, there's really only one wish. To be loved in a way they can feel and understand. If you've ever made mistakes, then congratulations. Because you're here, you care, you're learning. And to your furry friend, That alone is enough to forgive everything. Speech balloon. What about you? Was there something in today's video that made you pause? A moment that made you think, oh, I've done that before. Share your story in the comments. Because your experience might be the one that helps someone else change how they love their pet. And if you'd like to keep exploring the emotional world, psychology, and inner life of dogs with the Dogfluence, don't forget to hit subscribe, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos.